House Republicans, led by Bob Goodlatte of Virginia, have released an outline for what they say a DACA deal should look like. It includes mandatory e-verify, an end to the diversity lottery, authorization for a wall, and much more. Some Republicans say that Goodlatte's bill is not tough enough. They're calling it DACA amnesty. And as you may have heard, 46 House members so far are retiring or not running for office, running for a different office this year. 32 of them are Republicans. 7 of them are powerful committee chairmen, just like Congressman Goodlatte. Republicans are certainly feeling the heat on immigration reform, but what else is driving so many of them to walk away from the Hill? Who better to ask about all these topics than Chairman Goodlatte himself? He joins us live. Great to have you with us again.
Great to be with you, Shannon.
Okay, so let's start with the bill today, and I want to start with E-Verify because this is something that would actually hold employers responsible and accountable in this issue of hiring people and attracting them to this country illegally. But that's something we often see completely die in the Senate. Why is there opposition from both Republicans and Democrats on that side of the Hill?
Well, I think it's some kind of fear about the reality of the situation because, frankly, 750,000 American businesses voluntarily use the E-Verify program. It's very inexpensive. You can do it on your smartphone. You can do it in a minute or two. It's 99.7% accurate. And our bill deals with that 0.3%, gives them a safe harbor until they figure out whether they have a false positive or a false negative in those cases. So it's definitely something that's needed because obviously some of the people who are not participating in it don't want to know whether they're hiring somebody who is illegal or not. And by the way, it only is prospective. It doesn't require you to go back in and look at your current workforce and
just for new hires.
And only applies to new hires. It's a very good thing.
So what about this biometric entry and exit system? Because that was, my understanding is some form of that was authorized a long time ago. So that we have this huge problem with visa overstays. We know that people come to the country. We don't always know if they ever leave. That's the majority of the illegal immigration problem.
It is a big part of it. 40% or more of the people who are unlawfully present in the United States entered legally on visitors visas, student visas, business visas, visas of all kinds, and simply never left. So you don't know whether they've left, and you can't then determine who you should be looking for that didn't comply with the law. However, the Trump administration has, even though this law has been on the book for 17 years, really taken it seriously, and they are now hard at work in implementing it. The hardest is land crossings because people are in cars. How do you determine who's in that car, who left, and so on? Airports, much easier to do. And I think you're going to see some real progress on that issue because it is of vital importance to know who came into this country and didn't leave.
Okay, so of this bill, there have been some critics on, of course, the left, but some on the right as well who think it's not tough enough. In hearing from Louis Gohmert in a piece that we cited a little bit earlier, of course, you're a Republican colleague from Texas, he says anyone who brings any type of legislation to the House and Senate floors that gives any legal status to groups who are not here legally before the wall is built will be the proximate cause of betraying the determined voters who elected Donald J. Trump as president. How do you respond?
Well, Louis is a dear friend. He's a member of the Judiciary Committee. He has a very firm viewpoint of this, but it is, amongst conservatives in the House, a very, very small number that take that position. This is a very important bill. The president, when he ended DACA, as he should have, it's unconstitutional the way President Obama created it, said you have to address the DACA recipients. And I think Congress has responded to that, and this bill is the way to do it because it responds in a way that he asked for, that includes also border security, which is not just the wall, it is much more enforcement and what you do legally with people who enter the country and need to be returned home safely and can't be returned home today. All kinds of provisions under the rubric border security. In addition, ending chain migration, which is what happens when somebody gets a status in the United States, can bring a whole ton of people who may not benefit our economy, our society. We need to move to a merit-based immigration system. And then finally ending the visa lottery, a crazy program that brings people into this country based on pure luck and not on any merit whatsoever.
You are going to be among those who are greatly missed by your party on the Hill. You've been there a long time and you hold a very important position. Congresswoman Ros-Lehtinen out of Florida is another one who's not sticking around. Here's what she has to say about looking to the future.
We see the future, and it ain't pretty, not for moderates in moderate districts. And in those districts where Hillary Clinton did well, we are facing some strong headwinds. And you've just got to be a very good member of Congress to supersede this wave that could very well be coming.
I know everybody probably has their own reasons for leaving, but this is a large number. Are you concerned that the Republicans could lose the House, in part because some of these seats may flip if the incumbent walks away?
Well, every party needs to take the next election very seriously, but I think that this Republican Party is starting to catch a wave in its favor, starting with the tax cuts, and the president has a very good first year if you look at it from a fair standpoint. So I think we'll build on that as we go through this year. But we got to address a number of things, including infrastructure, welfare reform, and doing immigration in such a way that, as the Speaker says, we not only take care of the DACA recipients, but we also make sure that that never happens again. And that's what the bill that I and Mike McCall, chairman of the Homeland Security Committee, and Raul Labrador, the chairman of the Immigration Subcommittee, and Martha McSally, the chairman of the Board Security Subcommittee on Homeland, have done here. And we are going to build up a lot of support for this, but we're going to put down, I think, legislation that sets it right. If you're going to take care of people who were brought here by their parents illegally, and some came on their own, by the way, too, you need to make sure that we're stopping this from happening in the future. That's what our bill is designed to do.
Well, it's very meaty. We know that you have some work to do in building a coalition, and we'll watch to see as you get there. Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for your time tonight.
Shannon, thank you.
Good to see you.